friends, and welcome to another unboxing. Today I've got a book box for you. It is the Fairyloot November box. The theme is enemies to lovers, and I don't know about you, but enemies to lovers is one of my favorite tropes. I think my favorite so far is from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, Alina and the Darkling. Am I right? You can expect items inspired by The Cruel Prince, Shatter Me, The Wraiths and the Dawn, A Song of Wraith and Ruin, and Angelfall. If you've watched my previous unboxing, you know that I haven't read any of those books, but I don't care. Fairyloot is just a wonderful YA subscription box. I love the quality of their items, and I am super excited about the book of this month. And if you like these kind of videos, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you never miss another video. F me again. Let's get unboxing. Is the November box, and let's take our first look. The spoiler card is always on top, and beneath all that stuff we can see this. Before we put the spoiler card aside, let's take a quick look at the art of this month. The print reminds me of James Bond, and then there's this beautiful Asian woman with a sword. The first item that I thought was a pillow cover is actually a tote bag. It's actually a bit broader than normal tote bags. It's more of a beach bag. It reminds me of a beach bag. I can see two people and they look like fae. There's this dark vibe, and she seems to be pulling out his heart. There's a little butterfly on top of it, and they are surrounded by other symbols, a snake with a sword and autumn leaves. And these characters are Carden and Jude from the Folk of the Air series by Holly Black. I mean, this is the perfect bag for a fantasy nerd like me. This is absolutely gorgeous. And they even went with a black bottom because they use black straps. It's really big, and I love the way they use all the colors. Yeah, definitely something I'm gonna use. The next item is again something very soft, and it almost feels like a blanket or maybe a scarf. Ooh. It's really green, I can see that. It is indeed a scarf, and it is inspired by Azowar, so that is a song of Wraith and Ruin. And on the scarf is a quote from the book, "Come and gather, a story is about to begin." I usually end up using these scarves for Instagram photos. Also, I am not the biggest fan of having a quote on a scarf and then the author's name beneath it. Just feels a little bit weird to walk around with an author's name in your neck. And I'm not the biggest fan of the color that they used, but I believe that this is the same color as on the book cover, so I can imagine that people that have read the book and really love it are gonna love this scarf as well. Next up is another soft item. Is this a scrunchie? Yes, it is a scrunchie. So that is a really nice item. I buy scrunchies a lot. I use them a lot. I recently purchased one with little moon and stars on it, and I really like this one because this is obviously a Bookish scrunchie. And I believe there's a quote here. "Books are easily destroyed, but words will live as long as people can remember them." This beautiful quote is from Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. The scrunchie came wrapped in this cloth, which is the same material, but I don't know what to use it for. So if you do, let me know in the comments down below. The next item is a magnet. Oh, it is a sticky screen cleaner, and it is inspired by Angelfall. We can see golden wings against a yellow and brown background. I don't own a sticky screen cleaner, but I think you put the sticky side on your phone and then you use the soft side to clean your screen, and then you just stick it back so it's always with you. I really like getting these kind of practical items in boxes, so even though it's really small, I still think it's a good item. Next up are some bookmarks, and I knew we were gonna get these because they revealed that one of their items will be foil bookmarks. I love what they did with this. So this is literally enemies to lovers. We've got Feyre and Rhysand from A Court of Thorns and Roses, Lou and Reed from Serpent and Dove, Megan and Ash from Iron Fae, and Juliet and Roma, who are the characters from the book of the month. These are gorgeous bookmarks. I love the art style and that they went with modern clothing, but I do think they should have included a same-sex couple. Next up is this little item, and initially I thought this was a keyring for your phone, but it is actually a bag hanger. Now that I do know what it is, I still don't have a clue how to use it, but I'm gonna find out. And I mean, how awesome is it that you have your own bag hanger with you when you go places? In the middle there's a golden dagger with a rose and some petals, and this design is inspired by The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Adi. And of course the 2 tarot cards, and these are inspired by House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords. And now it's time for the book pouch, so let's take a look at the book of the month. Oh wow, this is another beautiful design. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Okay, it's definitely an Asian inspired fantasy, no doubt about that, because we can see some, I believe, Chinese markings on a dagger, and there's a Chinese dragon. The year is 1926 and Shanghai hums to the tune of debauchery. A blood feud between 2 gangs runs the streets red, leaving the city in chaos. At the heart of it is 18-year-old Juliet Kai, a former flapper who has returned to assume her role as the proud heir of the Scarlet Gang, a network of criminals far above the law. Their only rivals in power are the White Flowers, who have fought the Scarlets for generations. And behind every move is their heir, Roma Montagoff, Juliet's first love and first betrayal. But when gangsters on both sides show signs of instability culminating in clawing their own throats out, the people start to whisper of a contagion, a madness, of a monster in the shadows. As the deaths stack up, Juliet and Roma must set their guns and grudges aside and work together, for if they can't stop this mayhem, then there will be no city left for either to rule. I wanted to say this book reminds me of Romeo and Juliet, but it is actually a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1920s Shanghai. I was supposed to go to China last year with my brother. We were going to go to Shanghai, Hong Kong, and visit all these other cities and villages. But that didn't happen, so I can still kind of go to Shanghai and read about it. I'm really excited and I love a good retelling. And as you may know by now, I add every Fairyloot book to my TBR. As always, we got a bookmark with the same art that was on the spoiler card, a beautiful print of our main character Juliet, and on the other side the letter from the author. I will give you guys a close-up, just pause the screen if you want to read it. Awesome! They added an annotated chapter, the masquerade scene. I really like that they're doing that because it makes it feel really exclusive. And last but not least, the fairy scoop. Inside is an interview with the author, and it tells us that the cover that we have is exclusive to Fairyloot. So I'm excited to see what the normal cover looks like. Next month's theme is Thick as Thieves. This theme is all about stories with groups of friends or found families that go on adventures, share secrets, and get up to all sorts of shenanigans, which might sometimes even involve saving the world from imminent doom. You can expect items inspired by The Hobbit, Throne of Glass, Children of Blood and Bone, and The Raven Boys. That was everything in the November box. I liked it, but it was a little bit underwhelming for me. Partly because I didn't know the books, and partly because I think they could have done more with the items. I mean, Enemies to Lovers is a great theme, and putting a quote on a scarf and on a scrunchie doesn't really do that justice. I mean, the bookmarks are a great example. I love how they use the theme with those. You can probably guess my favorite item, the bookmarks. That's all for today, but before you go, I wanted to quickly mention that I started Patreon. You can support me on 4 different levels, and each level has their own benefits. Definitely go check it out so I can keep this channel running and give you loads of unboxing videos. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and let's stay in touch.